All right, welcome back, everyone. You're watching The Green Room. I'm your host, Aima, and we have a very special guest in the house today, our brother Kevin. Thanks for coming by. It's a real pleasure to have you in the house today.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing on this beautiful but cold Friday evening? You good?
It's not too cold. I'm all right.
Not too. This is okay for you?
It gets worse in Boston, as you know. So
I hear you.
I can't complain.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So that song was absolutely beautiful. You have God has blessed you with a really great voice. So let's just jump right into it. Just in a nutshell, just tell our viewers out there who are watching you at home who you are. Just a quick overview, kind of.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Kevin Vetiac, and I have been a believer for the past 16 years now.
All right.
And I've spent most of that time just active in music ministry.
Okay.
I gave my life to the Lord when I was like 13 years old and just started
That's good.
singing in the choir right away. And I've just been singing and just been ministering like in choirs and worship teams.
Okay, so where you from originally?
I'm from Boston. Been here my whole life.
Oh, you're a Boston cat.
Yep.
All right, okay. What part of Boston specifically?
I grew up mostly in Hyde Park.
Okay. All right, so you've pretty much been in Boston all your life?
My whole life,
wow,
yeah. I'm one of those.
That's why you're pretty much used to the cold by now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I see it now. I see it. So you said you grew up singing in a choir. So your parents also Christians as well?
So yeah, both of my parents are Christians, and they do attend church, and we go to different churches. But so when I was younger, I was like the only one in my family. Like we used to go to church, and I just remember being like 8 years old, like just walking.
So you've always had the heart there.
Definitely, I feel like I've just had a gift of faith at a young age, and I just knew that God was real at a very young age, and He just revealed Himself to me like early on. And
so you were also singing from that very young age as well?
I didn't really start singing until I joined the choir at about 13.
All right, so you were kind of a late, more sort of, because a lot of people who stop by here are like, oh, I came out of my mom's stomach, I was singing already.
Yeah,
so
no,
you
not
were
me.
a little more later on.
Guess I was a late bloomer.
Well, if you call 13 late.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So tell us how you first, you started singing in the choir. How did you get into professional music, so to speak?
So I started with the choir, and really, not knowing, being new to the church, not knowing like what my calling was or where I would fit in, but really connected with the choir, and really I just realized early on like I love just like
the
praise and worship and just ministering to God like first and foremost. I really brings just like a joy, and a passion to me, just to to minister to God and to minister to His people in song. And so I started with that. And we were just did a lot of singing with the group we were in. I was in a group called, it was a youth and young adults choir called Power Praise in Boston, that my friend Lois Commodore was a part of as well. And so we did a lot of singing. We would lead worship for the youth services every night. And then I just became to realize that this was something I wanted to do more professionally, and I wanted to kind of use that talent to minister to God. And then I started writing songs at about the age of 16. A little bit, bit by bit, I started to write more often. And then I really discovered like that was a gift that God had given me, like to write songs, not just for me to sing, but for other people to minister as well.
To minister to them. Okay, that's pretty cool to know that this is what I want to do, and I'm going to stick with that. So did you go to any professional school of music like Berkeley or something, or no?
No, I did not. Did not go to Berkeley. Pretty much all of my experience is just in the choir at the church, and I felt like we had some great choir leaders. If you've heard of Joy Hill, Lady Joy Hill. Right now she's out in, she was ministering with T.D. Jakes for a while. She was their worship leader. So she started off as our choir leader. And she was like a drill sergeant. She really put us in our place, when she wanted to be, when it was time to rehearse, it was like no playing around. And we did just a lot of vocal training, and that's where I just sort of learned how to use my voice and like more technically. And
that's good. So what church is this again?
So the church that I started going to was, it's now called Jubilee. It was called New Covenant Christian Church. And that name was always stuck in my head, New Covenant.
No matter what. It's
exactly.
Still
it's always New Covenant to me. And so I was there for about 10 years. And so that's where I gave my life to the Lord. And that's where I started singing in the choir and the worship team. So that's really where the foundation was laid.
Interesting. So far, all through your career, what kind of places do you get to go to minister? Is it mostly churches, you would say?
We did, with Power Praise, we did a lot of outside engagements, and that's what I really liked about that group. We would sing in church every Friday or Saturday. We would lead worship for the youth services, but we did a lot of outside engagements. We would do engagements for like Toys for Tots, and the mayor would come and you know, things like that. And there was one time they had some big youth rally, and Hillary Clinton was the main speaker, and we were asked to come and sing the national anthem and to sing one other song.
So what's the most interesting place you've been fortunate to be at to perform?
Definitely, well, definitely like being able to like when Bill Clinton was president, being able to sing. At an event where Hillary Clinton was there. That was like the biggest like honor, and it was really funny because the Secret Servicemen came out and they made the musicians like play the instruments, I guess, to make sure there wasn't anything. You know,
did they pat you down too?
No, they didn't pat us down, thank goodness. But you know, it was that was like a really cool experience. But I guess the best place I've been was recently in November. I was ministering with my friend Lois Commodore in Antigua. For their every year they do this big gospel concert as part of their
Now for those who are not like geography greats, tell them where that is.
Antigua's out there in the Caribbean.
Out in the Caribbean,
not too far from St. Kitts, and you know, over there.
How was that experience?
That was a great experience.
Have you been to the Caribbean before?
That was my first time. That was my first time. So my parents are from Haiti. But I was born here, so I've never been to Haiti, and that was my first time in the Caribbean. It was really funny because we were talking about the cold earlier, you know, in the show, and I wasn't used to the heat when I got there. I was just like, it took me a while to adjust.
To adjust to it.
Yeah. But that was a great experience over there.
So you said you went down there with Lois. For those of y'all who watch this, so you might have seen Lois come on. She's been here twice now on the show, so some of y'all might be familiar with her. So hope she treated you good while you were down there. She didn't play any practical jokes on her or anything like that?
No, she was on her best behavior. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So what projects do you currently have out right now? You have any CDs or any?
Yep. So I have 2 projects out right now. One is a collection of actually Christian love songs.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's not something you see every day. I know. I want to talk some more about that. Keep going. Keep going.
So I enjoy writing. I love writing gospel songs, like praise and worship songs. I love writing like slow worship songs. But also I just also like writing like love songs, you know, and that's, you know, biblical. And so I wanted to put together like some like nice, clean love songs.
Emphasize the clean.
Yes, not all the different stuff like you hear on the radio.
All right.
But you know, I think it's important for Christians to like celebrate love.
That's right.
And to talk about it and sing about it in a nice, you know, in a clean way, in a healthy way, to show, you know, to reflect properly, you know, how God uses us to, you know, and would cause us to love, you know, one another.
So how's that project going on so far?
That project is going well. I really enjoyed doing it, put like my heart and soul into the songs, and there were 3 songs on that CD that have been used at other people's weddings that people have just used, and one of them Lois used for her wedding, and when my sister got married, I wrote a song called By God's Grace, and she used that when she walked down the aisle.
That's great. That's really good.
So now I'm in trouble because every time a friend of mine gets married, they want me to write a song.
Kevin is the man. Now I know who I'm calling now.
Yeah, so they've been keeping me busy, but it's just been great.
That's good. That's really
that
good.
People were blessed by it, and that Christians really do enjoy like clean love songs.
That's good. So how was a church as a whole looked at that?
You know, I was a little.
Or you don't typically perform that when you go to a church or something?
Well, I sing those songs more for weddings. But at my home church, when I was attending, and I was a little nervous of how it would be received. You know, just because you know every song doesn't say Jesus. But my pastors really enjoyed the CD, really liked it, and really listened to the lyrics and said that the lyrics were like profound and like moving, and it's so appropriate for Christian couples. And
that's good.
There's definitely a place and a setting for that, so it was warmly received. And I was
that's
really
very good.
Grateful for that.
That's very good. It's always good to have the support of a church and those you have around you to kind of give you the encouragement you need to keep on doing this work for God.
Definitely.
So when are you looking to put that out?
So it's already been released.
Oh, it's already out.
It's already been released.
Okay.
It's available online at kevinvetiac.com.
Okay.
If anyone wants to purchase it.
Okay.
So that's that one project, and the other project I did was a joint collaboration with my friend Lois.
Lois, there's Lois again. There's Lois again.
Yeah. And so we had wanted to come together. We really wanted to write songs that would minister to people. Like we didn't want to just put out fluff. We really wanted songs that had like substance.
Substance to it. I think really, in these times you need stuff with substance, really. Because a lot of the stuff out there is just almost recycled. Just add water. It's just it's very watered down. So I think anything that has some meat to it these days will definitely be well received by people.
Definitely, and I feel like there's a lot of people, they might not tell you, but there's a lot of hurting people out there, and sometimes
there are.
Like we've gotten lots of messages that just one song or two like really touched people and really ministered to people and came to them, at a timely fashion. Like they heard it just when they needed it.
Okay.
And so we did that project together. I wrote 7 songs for the CD, and we took care of all the costs together. So it was a joint collaboration.
Okay.
And that was what opened the door for us to go to Antigua.
Got it. That's good.
So that's been like a great project to be a part of. Yeah.
All right. Okay, we gonna talk some more with Kevin in a little while, but let's cut to this video and we'll be right back. You're watching The Green Room. I'm your host, Aima. Keep it locked.